Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll look into a scenario and we'll see if Colombia could reform Gran Columbia in 2023. As we know, Gran Columbia stretched across South America. Not all of South America. Have parts of Brazil, parts of Peru, all of Ecuador, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, and parts of Guyana. It's a pretty big empire, and we're going to see what if they tried to reform this. It probably won't look exactly like it, but it'll look pretty close. What we have is to invade here. Or plan. Without even justifying it, they just march their troops in. Because you don't need to justify a war in the real world. Not like games where you actually tell the truth about why you're invading. Real life wouldn't do that. I'm literally not that great at those online map games for some reason, yep. But I'm taking very light losses here. This is without intervention happening too. But in real life, they probably wouldn't get away with it. Unless they can really strengthen their military as they're marching now into Brazil. So I'd say they can get away with most of it, but I wouldn't say they could invade Brazil because I'd say that'd be a loss. And it wouldn't be that great if they failed at making it. What it, guys. If you really like this video, I can do what if Gran Columbia formed in 2023, or I can do what if Colombia formed an empire. You are seeing this 9 days in the future because I'm at a bocce tournament, but that's something to talk about later. And yeah, with all of Venezuela collapsing, it looks like the red team has taken the score. And so, as you can see, guys, Gran Columbia is mostly formed at this point. But Venezuela is also a weak country. I'd say they'd go after Guyana, making Venezuela's dispute go away. Honestly, I'd say they would do full annexation, personally. If they were reforming it, I'd say they might also want to take Suriname. And yeah, they took it all over, and they annexed it all. And while we're talking about annexing, why don't they annex Trinidad and Tobago? To increase resources usability, they can either go north or into there. They basically decide to continue expanding, even though this isn't Gran Columbia area. They can do this because it would be a pretty boring empire if they did something we know they're going to do the full time. Like, to make it unboring, let's do more than just Gran Columbia. I'm probably going to call this what if Colombia reformed, Gran Columbia. And it looks like their annexing rampage is going to continue. As Costa Rica is guaranteed now by Nicaragua because they decided to guarantee them after seeing this rapid expansion. Them, Honduras, and Costa Rica along with Guatemala, all form a coalition along with Belize and El Salvador. But Mexico sees this as an opportunity, declares war on them. Meanwhile, Colombia gets pushed back to almost to the Panama Canal. And that's before these forces, once they're there, Mexico starts their offensive into the north. And as we know, Mexico's a pretty strong country. Not the strongest, but it's still a strong enough country, I would guess. With a counter-offensive in the south, it's seeming like the Mexican and Gran Colombian empires are going to reform together. And then moving up into Central America, which is good for them. And in the north, Mexico is slamming down. This kind of reminds me of the alternate world I made. I don't know where to start to that alternate world started, but yeah. And Gran Columbia stretches to there. They kind of decide they'll buy land off Brazil and see what Brazil will sell it for. So they ask to buy this land, which Brazil will sell for $500 billion. And they ask for these lands, which Brazil said they'll sell for 1 trillion. Fine, not really. That's 100 billion, and this is 10. Yeah, a bunch of billions. But really, Colombia also had army on these territories, saying they'll invade them for cheaper and stuff. And they take ownership, but yeah. Brazil's a bit upset. But they promised Brazil to make the lands up with giving them lands from Peru. Which Brazil basically then joins them for an invasion of Peru and Ecuador. The amount of land they're going to get out of Peru is going to be a lot. And so, yeah. So, no. With them all going with Brazil sweeping into the lands, along with Colombia sweeping into Ecuador, getting right up to Quito fast and taking it, meaning Ecuador is going to fall quick. Brazilian forces keep moving in because they're one of the strongest nations. And they managed to take Lima, which is great for them. Brazil's taking new lands. They surrender. Colombia picks their lands and then gives them Brazil can have the rest. And Brazil, basically, I would say this is about equal with what they sold. And that's how Gran Columbia came back in 2023. Now, I don't know how I'll make the thumbnail, but I think I'll just test a new way of doing the thumbnails, guys. I'm just going to see if it works. If it does, that's great. If it doesn't, well, yeah. I'm also going to be gone away when this video comes up, because this video is coming up on the 8th of September. Yep. And that's what would happen if Gran Columbia reformed itself. Except one thing would be an American invasion, because there's oil there, but we can ignore that. And there's Amazon, so they'd probably get a Brazilian invasion, you know. And they're right next to France. France might have something to say. And that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like and subscribe. Our goal by October 1st is 1,200 subscribers. Please subscribe. That's all for today's video. Wild Mapper out. Not until you subscribe. Bye, guys. Bye.